Wow, welcome to the Mark Janard Show, the cybersecurity show. There is a major zero click, right? 0 day that's beating up WhatsApp right now. I'm going to cover it in this video. So, a major zero click, 0 day vulnerability, that's the CVE 2025 55177 in WhatsApp was discovered and exploited in targeted attacks, allowing attackers to compromise devices without any user interaction, particularly on iOS and macOS platforms. Now, basically, what happened was the vulnerability affected WhatsApp for iOS versions prior to 2.25.21.73, WhatsApp Business for iOS prior to 2.25.21.78, and WhatsApp for Mac prior to 2.25.21.78. Now, attackers could exploit the flaw using incomplete authorization of linked devices synchronization messages, letting them process malicious content from arbitrary URLs on a target's device with basically no user interaction required, classifying it as a zero-click attack. Now, the attack method, involved basically also another CVE, right? The CVE 2025-55177, that is the one that we're talking about. However, it combined with the CVE 2025-43300 in Apple's devices, right, in a sophisticated exploit chain to silently deliver and install spyware on targeted iOS and macOS devices. Now, here's how they work together. You have the WhatsApp flaw, that's the CVE 2025-55177. This vulnerability allowed basically attackers to send a specially crafted synchronization message to WhatsApp, tricking the app into processing content from any arbitrary URL on the victim's device. Critically, this attack required no user interaction, which is a true zero-click exploit. Now, the Apple flaw, that's the CVE 2025-43300, this was an out-of-bounds write vulnerability in Apple's Image I/O framework, meaning it could be triggered by opening or just even processing in the background, basically in a malicious image file. So when exploited, it allowed attackers to corrupt device memory and execute arbitrary code on the system. Now, here's how the combined attack flow works. An attacker exploited the WhatsApp vulnerability to remotely deliver malicious content, which is a malicious image file, to the target's device using WhatsApp's linked device synchronization mechanism as a delivery vehicle. Now, the malicious image file exploited the Apple Image I/O vulnerability, enabling the attacker to gain execution privileges on the device with no action required from the victim. Now, this chained attack resulted in the installation of spyware, basically affording the threat actor full access to messages, device data, the camera, microphone, and more. So all without the victim's knowledge. Now, chaining is very important, right? By using both vulnerabilities together, attackers bypass multiple security layers. The WhatsApp flaw gave access to deliver a payload to the device. The Apple flaw turned that payload into full device compromise, not just app-level access. Now, WhatsApp issued direct notifications to less than 200 affected users, recommending a full device factory reset and keeping both the OS and WhatsApp app updated. Now, Meta, on the upper hand, that's WhatsApp's parent company, released patches in late July and early August 2025 to address the vulnerability on all affected platforms. So Apple issued emergency updates for the companion OS level vulnerability around the same time. Now, they have a certain nature to them, right? These zero-click exploits. So zero-click exploits require no interaction from the victim. Attackers deliver malicious code via basically specially crafted messages or data, making detection and prevention extremely difficult. Now, this particular case showcases how modern spyware campaigns are increasingly targeting messaging apps to bypass user awareness and device security controls. Now, to ensure your iOS or Mac device is fully clean and secure after a severe zero-click vulnerability, the recommended best practices basically include patching, thorough resets, and safe restoration steps. However, let's break it down. Number one, you want to update your iOS and apps. So install the latest iOS and app updates, ensuring security patches are applied. In regards to the data, create a backup using iCloud or your computer to safeguard contacts, photos, and messages, before making major changes. You want to erase all content and settings, right? Go to settings, then general, then transfer or reset iPhone. Erase all content and settings. This process restores the device to factory settings and removes any possible malware. Now you want to restore from a clean backup. So only restore from backups taken before suspected compromise or set up the device as new for best security. You want to review all the installed apps and permissions, right? After reset, reinstall only trusted apps and review permissions for each, right? Now, for Mac devices, there's a little bit of specialty, right? You want to update the Mac OS and applications, right? Go to System, Settings, General Software Update, update all apps through the App Store or directly from the developers. Now, backup important files, right? Use Time Machine or other, or another backup tool to copy essential documents, photos, and settings. Erase and install and reinstall Mac OS, right? Restart the Mac and hold the command, right? The R to boot into recovery mode. Now in recovery, select disk utility to erase the startup disk. Now reinstall the latest version of Mac OS. So restore from a clean backup. Prefer restoring only clean pre-infection backups or setting up as a new Mac or highest safety. Now you want to only install essential applications only, right? Reinstall apps from trusted sources. Avoid restoring potential malware from a compromised backup. Now, the final protection steps, you want to reset account passwords, like change your Apple ID, the email, and other critical account passwords from a trusted device. You want to enable extra security. What does that mean? Turn on two-factor authentication, enable advanced system security features like lockdown mode for iOS or the Mac OS, and keep all software updated. You want to monitor for suspicious activity, so look out for unauthorized logins or unusual device activity in the days following a reset. Now, future zero-click attacks, right, are going to be on the rise. They're going to be increasing because, again, they're increasing their sophistication and the high-value targets involved, right? They have high-value targeting, right? Messaging apps are prime targets because they hold sensitive data, right? They private data and provide basically a potential entry into devices. There's no user interaction needed, right? That's why they're on the rise. These exploits do not require victims to click links or open files, making them stealthy and highly effective for espionage and surveillance. There's a constant discovery when it comes to vulnerabilities. Legacy code, feature complexity, and integration challenges create ongoing zero-day vulnerability opportunities for attackers, right? There was that exploit chaining we talked about early in the video. So attackers increasingly chain multiple bugs in apps and operating systems to bypass sandboxing and escalate privileges, right? So vendors like WhatsApp and Apple are basically investing heavily in restructuring app architecture, sandboxing, media parsing improvements, and rapid patching. So AI and machine learning will be integrated more in both attacks, whether it's automated targeting, evasion, and defenses. Basically, that's anomaly detection, threat hunting. Despite advances, perfect security is elusive, especially given commercials incentives, right, for spyware development and nation-state interests. So that's what I have for you today. Please take a moment right now to hit that subscribe button and the like button. If you appreciate this video and you want more videos like this, please hit that subscribe button and the like button. I appreciate your friendship. Stay safe. See you in the next video.